We're battered! We are impacted! We're battered! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of Impacted, and we are live coming to you with episode 156. And again, guys, this is going to be a fantastic episode of Impacted, and I am glad that I'm here with my brother, the Joker, to talk about everything that we've got coming up today. It's going to be a great show. I'm excited. I'm going to see if I can get great in as many times as I possibly can because, you know, I just feel that we're on the greatest run of our life right now and everything is just so great. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. It's going to be a great, great show. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be just fantastic. We're talking about Bound for Glory. We're talking about TNA. We're talking about it all. We're talking about it all today, and you're going to get our opinions, our thoughts on everything. But do you know what? We need to know what your thoughts are as well, guys. We need to know in the chat what you think about everything that's gone down this past week in the world of Impact Wrestling. What more is there to say? What more is it?
Well,
in fact, that's the end of the show. Let's get out of here. No, you know what
yeah. Let's just say hi to everyone who's in the chat. Hi to Mia, hi to Funk Trace, and hi to Norris. Good to see you guys. I watched Bound for Glory last night, caught up with everything. I saw the news, everything. I can't believe what's happened. Some of the surprise entrants we got in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet were bloody brilliant too. That was kept right out of the way because of all the news about TNA returning, so that really did surprise me. There was some fucking brilliant entrance in the gauntlet, and my god, some of the matches were amazing. The whole news of TNA breaking through clouded everything else. So I literally went into Bound for Glory blind, apart from just knowing who won each match, but not knowing how it happened and everything. So fucking hell, it was like watching it live almost for me. It was amazing.
It was a fantastic show. It was a great show. The best pay-per-view of the year so far for me, by far. Some fantastic matches, some great surprises, and of course, a fantastic ending to the show as well. Yeah, great stuff. But you know what, mate? I think we need to. I think Steve's going to try and join us a little bit later. I know that he's busy today, but I think he's going to try and join us on his way home from work. He's a busy dude. But it's, yeah, like you say, it's great. Let's just welcome a few people. Like I say, Mira's in the house. We've got Punk in the house. It looks like Norbert's joined us as well. And I'm sure they'll start flooding in now that we've gone live. Don't forget, guys, we want to know what you think about everything that's gone down. We'll discuss it. If you want to know what we think, or if you've got any questions for us, then please don't hesitate to pop them in the chat. Hang on a second.
Yeah, exactly. Barry Monkey is the first pay in years that hasn't had a bad match. I have to agree. Every match for me was 5-star, and they still managed to stand out. They also managed to stand out uniquely, all being 5-star banger matches. It was such a good night last night. It was amazing.
Great. It was a great.
Okay, I say last night because I watched it last night. So do bear with me, guys.
It was Saturday. For everybody else, it was Saturday. Hello, Dead Punk. Nice to see you. And of course, that was a great comment there from Barry. Guys, keep them coming. We'll try and feature as many of those as we possibly can. But I'll tell you what, we have got a hell of a lot of shizzle to take on board today. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Hey, Dragonstorm, nice to see you. So loads of stuff going on. Oh, exactly that. Okay, so let's get into the news and rumors. We haven't got time to do a recap this week because there's so much stuff to talk about that, and to be fair, because we're going straight into Bound for Glory, it just seems pointless doing the recap from last week's go home show, to be fair. Because we all sort of kind of know the outcomes from it, so it's a bit pointless, really. Okay, so just to mention that they are continuing the release of photographs from a Halloween photo shoot special that they've been doing. So they seem to be every week. They seem to be bringing out some more photographs from the Halloween photo shoot. There's some fun ones on there this week, so go and check that one out.
Great one out this week with Chris Bay and Ace Austin doing the Super Mario Brothers. That was I saw that before I logged on to here. I pissed myself laughing. It was done so brilliantly.
I know, it was really good. But hey, Simon, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, it is a shame about the Knockouts Tag Team title wasn't on the show, but again, you can understand why. But it was great to get it free, so I'm all good with that. Hey, Steve, welcome to the show.
How are we doing, guys?
Hello.
I'm good. I'm good, man. Hang on a second, Simon. Yes, Simon, I will be covering
UK announcements.
The UK announcements in a bit. Actually, when I did that, I didn't realise that they've been released. So I will. What I'll do is when we come to that particular show, I will try and bring it up and we'll run through that as well. All right. So Bonkers has joined us. Loads of people joined us today. I'm not surprised. Barry's not sure about the name change. It's a big risk, promising bigger venues, etc. Is it hostage to fortune? If they don't fill them, people will say same old TNA. Well, when they're going into bigger venues, they're not going. I don't think they're talking about filling 10,000 seater stadiums.
No,
I think they're smaller steps, mate. They're you've got to remember, the people running Impact now are very astute. They know what they're doing. They're not talking about going into 10,000 seat stadiums,
Square Garden and things like that.
No, I'm sure that they'll be. I mean, when you look at the Palms, you're looking at what? I mean, they're saying that it holds about 2,500 people. So once you take out some of those seats, I reckon you might be looking at 1,800 to 2,000 max. All right. So calm down, because they are getting bigger venues and they're going to start selling more tickets, bringing in more fans, but they're going to take it steady. And I'm sure as it builds up through the year and we start seeing more and more fans coming to the shows, they will start to increase the size. Just be aware of that. Okay, Steve, do me a favor. Unless you're about to talk, can you pop yourself on mute? Because there's a lot of traffic noise in the background. Good lad. Thank you, buddy. When you want to talk, just pop it off. That'd be great. Okay, so I also wanted to mention that the new additions to shopimpact.com, we've got the TNA is back shirt, which is fantastic. We've got an MK Ultra shirt, which looks fantastic. And I'm hoping that one might be available at Turning Point. We've got Steve Macklin shirt as well, which has been sort of kind of revamped a little bit. So the new version of that, which is really cool. And I believe that they've not been added to Shop Impact yet, but I believe Mickey James and a few others have got some new shirts to go on Shop Impact soon too. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be added to Shop Impact. Soon will be obviously Shop TNA again very soon, which is exciting stuff. I
just wish Don West was here to be promoting it. Don West would be selling it like Lady Matt. We know how good Don West was. I wish he could be there to advertise it.
It would be a shame. We need to find someone similar can sell it in the same way.
No one can sell it the same way.
Big, loud and proud.
Yeah, we need the Bison.
Yeah. Maybe they need to employ the Bison to sell these shirts. I'll tell you, I'd be all over that shirt. The big brown bag sale is back. Yes, I could do that shit. Anyway, interestingly enough, we will be talking about some of the stuff that we think, from TNA side of things. We will be talking about some of that in a second. But like you say, like Scott Demore did say yesterday, haters are just going to hate regardless. So fuck them. Now, a lot of people talking about the issue with regard, like obviously it was a shame the Knockouts tag title didn't get defended on the show, but there was this week a free edition of Main Event Monday, and it featured MK Ultra versus Deanna Pratt and Tasha Steelz. That was filmed at BFG. What a fucking match!
That was banger. I did. I loved it. It was brilliant. Killer Kelly got a nice bite in on Tasha Steelz' ass. That was funny as hell. Yeah, we got the miscommunication between Deanna Pratt and Tasha Steelz. That's leading to a match in the upcoming tapings. I saw some photos from that match.
I did. I have to say that the match itself was outstanding.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that match. It definitely is, a Chris Sabin. I love this match. It was one of those, without doubt. Fantastic match, and I love the way. Yeah, I love the way it sort of kind of ended. I love the way it ended. There's clearly, obviously Tasha and Deanna not happy there.
Definitely a feud coming out of it.
I agree. Oh yeah. Okay. There's definitely something going on with that. Definitely. Hey Antonio, nice to see you there. Thanks for joining us. They're all streaming in tonight, which is good to see. Okay, so that's fantastic. So if you haven't seen it, then stop whining and moaning about it. It's up for free on YouTube. Go and check it out. Will Ospreay states on social media how much he loved his weekend with Impact Wrestling for Bound for Glory, and it was TNA that made him fall in love with wrestling, etc.
Yeah.
It was great to see that. There was lots of love actually over the weekend from Will with regards to Impact.
He did a fantastic post-show promo with Josh Alexander straight after like not only said Don Callis, after Scott Demore and everyone left the ring. Will Ospreay came out and did a great promo where then he talked about how he watched AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe, and how that got him into TNA. And I've not seen that match fully, or I can't remember much of that match, but even that match got me got word that when that TNA was something big when I was watching WWE, or even I don't think I was even watching wrestling at the time.
Yeah.
So it was like even then, like, echoes of that match left an impact on me, no pun intended, and I hadn't even heard of those guys before.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, definitely.
But I heard of Will Ospreay. I'd seen him on battling with a name you knew, regardless. That's just how good the Billy Goat is.
Mate, the Big Goat, bruv, is a fucking legend, bruv. You know what I'm saying, bruv? He is fantastic. I've got so much time for Will Ospreay. I think he's an awesome wrestler. He's put on some some beef as well. A couple of years ago, he
looks huge.
Yeah, I mean, a few years ago, when he came to Impact before, I mean, I've seen him on the Indies a few times since then, but, I'd say about 2 or 3 years ago, he was much more slender than that. And of course, he was doing a lot of the, he was the aerial assassin, of course. So he was doing a lot of crazy aerial stuff. But I think over the years, he's realized that he needs to sort of kind of possibly bulk up a little bit. And I think he's bulked up. He's looking more what you would class as, a potential heavyweight world champion type figure now. He's doing his tour. He's showing everybody exactly what he's about. And he's an incredible wrestler. I mean, there is absolutely no doubt about that. He's an incredible wrestler. And
you mix your styles
it's going to
up,
be amazing.
You can also make your career last longer too.
Oh, mate, of course. And that, it's like he said himself, he's not getting any younger. And, that high flying stuff now is taking a wear and tear on his body. So, he's got to look at other things. But what he's proven is that not only can he do all that high flying stuff, he can also actually wrestle. And I have to say that some of that, we'll talk about it when we do the review, but boy, was that good shit. But anyway, yeah, so great to see Will obviously getting it out there, letting everybody know what a fantastic promotion Impact is, which is great. Now, obviously, he also mentioned that TNA was something that made him love wrestling. He wants to be in the TNA ring. Scott D'Amore actually responds to Will on social media, on X, baby, and about competing in a TNA ring and that they need to make it happen sooner rather than later. So I have a funny feeling that Will Ospreay is going to be facing somebody, whether it be Josh Alexander or somebody else in a TNA ring at Hard to Kill. I have this sneaking suspicion that we could be seeing that announced at some point. Probably, you never know. It could be the UK tour.
I think we're going to see the Walking Weapon versus Will Ospreay. That he was constantly like egging Josh Alexander to take him on, and they did there was a video slip released shortly afterwards, and then backstage he stopped Josh as he was walking out the curtain and said, "You better have that belt around your waist by Hard to Kill."
Yeah. Oh, I agree. And let me have a look at that. So Barry said, didn't Will Ospreay love Impact last time he wrestled here before sodding off to New Japan Pro Wrestling? I think what you guys have to remember is that if you read up on Will Ospreay or you watch any of his interviews and all that kind of stuff, I think you'll find that actually his last time that he came to Impact Wrestling, he didn't have a very good time at all, and he was very vocal about it. Yes, he went off to New Japan Pro Wrestling, which was also his dream of competing in the Japanese strong style. He loved it, and that's where he's been, and he's done a fantastic job, without doubt. And now that's where it's led into where he is now. And in 3 months' time, Mir, you're right. Whatever happens, Will Ospreay is going to be a very rich man because he's going to get a good deal.
Yeah, and you got to remember, you could love like 4 places, but you can't work at 4 places consistently all the while. You've got to choose. You've got to choose
in the end,
one.
you have to
choose.
choose.
Even if you love working at two places, it's going to be tricky. So, he could love it working at Impact, but he could also love New Japan. But he's got to pick one. So it's a tricky. You've got to take everything with a pinch of salt until it happens.
Yeah, Sammy Callahan is an example. Look at Sammy Callahan. He had to choose between Wrestling Revolver or staying with Impact Wrestling, and he's chosen to go on, work on his company, work in his company, and everything. And Sammy Callahan.
I would say now, I'm going to put this on the line now and say that Sammy Callahan knew what was going on, knows what's going on, and I think
it does feel like it's a case of did Callahan want to be part of the new direction Impact are going in, or did Impact want Callahan to be part of that new direction kind of thing? It feels this whole change, did Callahan fit with it kind of thing?
I don't think that's the issue. I think what the issue here is that there are rumors that they're going to look at reforming how they do TV, for instance. So if they're going to start doing TV in a slightly different way, it might not have suited the way that, in terms of dates and all that kind of stuff, it may not have suited Sammy at this time, based on, obviously what he's trying to do with Revolver. So
that's what he said in the recent interview he did. Was basically the whole timeline with the production changes from the end of the year through till about February. It's just it's not convenient for him with what he's trying to do with Revolver at the moment, and he's taking them touring across the US at the moment, and it was just too much conflict between both sides to get anything to work, and so they had to part ways. There was no animosity or anything. Sammy's been behind Impact Wrestling from day one.
A bit like with Cardona. Cardona that was happy to stay with it.
Yeah,
but they wanted
Matt Cardona
but they wanted him on a permanent deal, and he didn't want to sign a permanent deal.
No, exactly. And I think the end of the day, the end, that's the beauty of Impact to a degree, is that you can sort of kind of do other things. I think actually, what companies like TNA will now offer someone like Ospreay, because it might be that Ospreay don't want to lose him. And could you imagine? He turns out to be the very first co-promoted signed wrestler. Think about that. Think about him saying, look, I want to do more in America, but if I sign with AEW, I'm signing with AEW. But how about what if Scott D'Amore goes to New Japan Pro Wrestling and say, look, this is how much this dude wants. What if we go halves?
Yeah. Well, Ospreay's,
what I mean? And
he's officially a free agent in January.
But could you imagine that? Can you imagine if they go halves and he becomes the very first co-promotion signed talent that there ever was? If he goes to the E, that's not going to happen. So once he goes to the E, that's the end of AEW, that's the end of Impact, that's the end of New Japan Pro Wrestling, that's the end of doing anything in the UK. Now, what you guys have to remember, right, with Will, is he's very proud of what he does in the UK to promote the UK scene, and that he is the United Kingdom champion. You have to remember that, and he's very proud of that. He was carrying that title with him, right? So you have to remember that he's very proud of that. So I think he had the chance to go to NXT UK. He turned that down. So and that then he would have been able to live in the UK during that. So, but I think the problem is he loves living in the UK. He doesn't want to move. So and it's whether again, WWE are going to say, well, no, if you come and sign with us, then that's it. You're on Raw, SmackDown, or whatever every week, and we're not going to fly you back and forth every week. That's not happening.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So, I think there's people don't realize how important his home life is to him either. So, it's interesting. It is interesting how that sort of kind of how the dynamic of what will work best for him works. At the moment, New Japan fly him in and out all the time, right? But I can't see the E doing that.
No,
I can't see the E doing that.
Yeah, and
I can't.
Tony Khan will just be on. Will be on every week saying, "I got a big announcement. Will Ospreay's coming. A big announcement. Will Ospreay's coming back." So it'll be more about Tony Khan than Will Ospreay if he goes to AEW or Ring of Honor.
Yes, exactly. Can I just say a quick hello to Sports Entertainment Conquers Pro Wrestling? I have no idea what that's all about, but thank you for joining us. It's nice to see you. I don't know where you are, but it looks like you. I don't know. Where are you? Let us know. Let us know where you are. But thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Yeah, exactly, Simon. You know exactly where I'm coming from. That is the situation with him. It just wouldn't work. Right. Okay. So obviously we had the Tom Hannafan and Scott D'Amore social media Q&A on yesterday. It's about 30 minutes where, we talked about all sorts of stuff there with regards to today, including the fact that there is no chance that the six-sided ring will be coming back. He stated it very clearly that his wrestlers' well-being and health and safety comes first. And I think if anybody saw this yesterday on social media, on X, Jordynne Grace tweeted out, what would you prefer? Would you prefer your performers to be in a much healthier position and get to see them more often, or do you want to see them injured all the time? So I think this is something that came out quite a long time ago, that a lot of performers did not like performing in the six-sided ring. They appreciated that it was a unique selling point for TNA at the time, and it worked for them at the time. But I think the health and well-being of the wrestlers is of the most importance at this moment.
If you're going to bring the six-sided ring back, Jordynne Grace even said, do it for one event. It's not like Six Sides of Steel. And then, because that makes perfect sense then, because the whole thing is basically in a six-sided cage. So the ropes aren't going to be the big issue, really. The ropes are probably going to be outside, and the cage is going to be on the inside. They might redesign the whole thing that way. So, but a six-sided ring, as great as it wasn't didn't suit a lot of people, and especially with with how health and safety is a huge factor nowadays, and especially with multi-man matches. You can't see who's behind you. You can get blindsided and knocked out, and it's much more of a bigger issue, and people are a lot more aware of it now. So it's just one of those things. You can't pick your spots as easily as you can in a four-sided ring.
That's one of the things that sort of a lot of fans sort of tend to forget is the safety of the wrestlers, and that is the forefront. If the wrestlers get injured, you don't get your entertainment in the ring. You have to put that at the forefront of your mind, really. It's the safety of the wrestlers that comes first, and if they're not happy with it, then they're not happy with it. You have to put that first.
Yeah,
exactly. It's got to be the health and safety of your talent, which is ahead of everything, and that's really, really important. And to be fair, they used a four-sided ring from the start. They've used a four-sided ring way longer than they ever used a six-sided ring.
Yes.
So people just need to shut the hell up and be happy with what's coming. Hang on a second. Gary's in the chat as well. Bonus Baby's joined us. Oh my goodness, it's looking good this week. Now, the big news that was released yesterday, was that PCO becomes the first signing of the TNA era. He's been signed to a multi-year deal, which he's extremely happy about. We're extremely happy to hear this as well here on TNI. But guys, what were your thoughts when you saw this, Joe?
I was so pleased. I thought PCO was going to leave at the end of the year and go to Ring of Honor, but Eric Young's apparently turned down an offer from Tony Khan as well, so he might be staying. Oh, he's most likely staying with TNA as well. He said, as much as I enjoyed both times trying to work with AEW, it just wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. So he might be the next one to sign a contract, but PCO, that was a huge surprise to me, because I did think come the end of the year he'd just be gone. I'm just hoping that Deanna Prazo signs a contract now, and she's staying on. I hope she's the first knockout to be officially added to the TNA roster, so to speak.
Well, I think we can safely say that she's obviously part of this TNA thing, because she's on the picture. So I'd be very surprised if they put her on that picture if that wasn't a clue that she's staying. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. But hopefully she is staying. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So
I'm sure she will be.
I think she will. Traci Brooks, Don West, Mike Tenay, Hall of Fame inductions. I thought they were fantastic. I want to cover them in here because I didn't see the point in covering them later. But I think Traci was lovely. She did a lovely little speech there, thanking everybody, and it was lovely to see ODB in the audience at that point as well. There was a few former knockouts in there as well, which was really cool to see. And I think she did a lovely little speech, and her son, and Rebel, that's it. Their son Rebel was there, and obviously Frankie looked very, very proud. So I thought that was fantastic. What were your thoughts on Traci Brooks before we hit Mike today?
I was in tears from start to finish on this when they started going, and I haven't seen Traci Brooks' career from start to finish like everybody else, or Don West and Mike Tenay, but even then, just listening to everybody talking about what they've done for TNA, and just how much of an impact they've had on them throughout their entire careers, it just like, oh my god, this is amazing. It was just really, really emotional, really, and I just wish Gail Kim could tell us some of those stories that happened on the road, but that are secrets between the two of them.
Exactly.
Gail hit a lot of the spots, and like I say, Traci really took it over the edge and really put everything into perspective of how the knockouts are done, and really what everything they've done. And I mean, and like I put on Twitter, when through the Tenay and Don West one, you forget what you had until it had gone. You forget how good Mike Tenay was.
I agree. He was good.
he had you captivated with every single word.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was totally captivated with everything that was said. I thought it was a wonderful Hall of Fame ceremony. I really enjoyed it. And you know what? It's actually made me think. God, I can't wait to find out who's going to go in the Hall of Fame next year. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. Of course. We then, at the end of, I mean, there's no point in waiting to talk about this, but obviously, because we're already sort of kind of talking about it anyway. But TNA is back in 2024, and it starts at Hard to Kill. I think this is fantastic news. And I completely, certainly after seeing the reaction of the audience, hearing the reaction all over social media, see the amount of people that watched the video.
It's broke the internet, and it's still carrying on now.
It definitely has, yeah.
It has gone crazy, and I totally understand, where some people are like, "Oh, what's the point in that?" It's already no. In reality, people still call current Impact Wrestling TNA anyway. So it makes sense, and I think those three little letters mean a lot to a lot of people. And I think it's awesome news, and it's all going to coincide with the long-awaited set changes and upgrades to production and the new HD 4K HD or whatever it is we're going to be getting. It's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Slightly bigger venues. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. So I'm looking forward to it. And again, I think also, they're obviously plowing some more money into it. They do this every year. They every year they've plowed a little bit more money into something. And you may have noticed that Bound for Glory looked a little bit different. So you can see.
You saw all the sponsors around the ring. And
exactly,
it added some more atmosphere. Just doing that added a bit more atmosphere than just seeing the guardrails. There's a lot of things like that. Yeah,
there's without doubt it added a lot more. They had the black backdrop all the way around. When I went there for Emergence, they didn't have all of that.
I
still
feel like
a plain arena.
We need a little bit more. Like I say, I feel like the production should have stepped up a little bit more from what we've seen. But again, that's just my.
Well, it is, Steve, but it's not going to ramp up until obviously the start of 2024. They've
oh
not,
no, but we
not
heard
made
that they were
all the changes.
We heard that they were gonna. We heard they were gonna make changes. Last year and the year before, and the changes. I don't know. We haven't. I haven't seen too many changes at all.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember mentioning that they were up in anything, to be honest. But they made a big announcement. They made a big announcement that after Bound for Glory, that the studios are going to, where they do all the production stuff, it's all going to be upgraded. They're going to be upgrading the cameras. They're going to be, they're definitely spending money in the right places. They know exactly what they're doing. And come 2024, slightly bigger venues. They're going to be, bigger production, bigger stage. I'm hoping we're going to get a bit of pyro. That would be cool. Let's get the pyro back, I say.
Yeah. And like Joe said, I hope that they don't. I hope they do it and just don't kind of go out on it because of health and safety.
What does that mean? You need to come off mute, mate.
I just hope they don't. They can't, because of health and safety now. It's one of those. I hope they can't do it because of health and safety. How things are now. Oh, we can't do pyro because of health and safety. Let's get blooming pyro back in there.
Yes, yeah. I don't see that being a problem. I mean, maybe the reason for the lack of pyro has been because of the smaller venues. Maybe the venues that are smaller are saying, no, we don't want none of that. You know what I mean? So you never know.
They can't use it because it's just not enough room for it all.
Exactly. Maybe that's the situation. I don't know. But either way, if they start to bring those kind of things back, that's going to be fantastic. And I agree with Simon, by the way. He actually thought that the broadcast was much more stable. There was no picture, there was no sound issues from start to finish.
100%.
The whole thing was definitely much better.
100%.
But again, we do need to step everything up. We need to step everything up. Bison, apparently, I also need to step up like TNA will be doing in 2024. Why do I need to step up? I don't know. I'm just a podcaster here, but anyway. So sources, and actually talking about that, we have been talking backstage about looking at maybe freshening up the logos and all that kind of stuff. But that again is just something that we're going to look at. If we decide to go with it, we will. If not, if you think about it, at the end of the day, total non-stop impact, total non-stop action, it's all there. The impact is not going anywhere. It's still going to be the Thursday night. The Thursday night,
show,
the main show. Even if they add anything else, the show's still going to be Thursday Night Impact at the end of the day. So I think we are well within brand at this moment in time. So I don't think it's an issue with name or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, maybe we could look at doing a refresh of logos or something like that. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. If it's something we do, great. If it's something that we don't, then I don't think it makes a lot of difference. And Simon, they do use pyro, but what they use is very small. So I'm not too sure in terms of whether that would for an impact stage, for instance, whether that would actually be any good. I don't know. I don't know whether it would come across sort of grand enough. Really, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. You never know.
Yeah, and as Brian Monk is saying, the different rules in different states also made it much more harder to plan for the smaller venues. AEW and WWE you can get stadiums, so but there's like less restriction in a stadium than there is compared to a smaller arena.
Yeah. That is true as well, Barry. You could be right there with the different rules as well with regards to, from different state to state as well. I don't know. And Norbert wants them to change the opening. So I tell you what, they need to go back.
I think they are. I think they are going to go back to cross the line. They're going to go back to something similar to that. Definitely. They had that.
Maybe just do a slightly updated version of it, but pretty much.
I don't.
Be cool.
I don't think that it's going to be the same theme song next year. That's definitely going to be changing, and I think that's one of the things that was like probably one of the first things they looked into when it comes to what we're going to do for production and presentation. Sound and everything is the first thing. So music, graphics will be the first things that come into play because they're not exactly that stand out most.
And listening to Scott D'Amore on the thing yesterday, he was talking about how that they're currently putting a lot of time and effort into trying to create a new stage which sort of will have the old TNA feel but with a sort of a bit of a modern twist. I like it. I'm excited. I can't wait to see it, to be honest. So it should be good. The video package at the end of the show was pretty good. It was awesome to see all those pillars of TNA, past and present, to reintroduce TNA to the masses. I love it. I'm excited about it all. I really am, and I bet Trent is probably excited as well. But so it should be good. Now, sources online, I've seen several different outlets advertising or mentioning that CM Punk was seen at backstage at not at BFG, but the following day at the TV tapings. He popped in for an hour or so, and I'm sure at the end of the day, his friend Ace Steele's there doing some backstage production. There's a few other people that he's friends with that are involved. I don't think people need to read too much into this stuff. They just, at the end of the day, the guy lives in Chicago. He's turned up. He's gone to see a few of his friends. for an hour or so, and probably while he was there, he had a chat with a few others. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think people need to stop reading into stupid shit like that all the time.
Yeah,
It's just
he
frustrating.
he was there to meet Josh Alexander, Will Ospreay, and talk to Frankie Kazarian.
Right.
And I'll send a link to one of these interviews. These sheets on the comments, and now after we finish up, we'll go into a bit more detail on what he was doing there, what he hasn't. But he's every time they've gone to Chicago, he's gone up there and integrated with the roster to say to talk to them, to get to know them. They've even joked with Scott D'Amore about what's it going to take to hire to they throw numbers at each other in not in a serious way, so and
Yes.
there's also rumors that CM Punk will be going to Survivor Series later on this year for WWE. So obviously that that's another option there. And he was apparently offered to come on during Bound for Glory, but why would he do that and upstage the whole night? And
I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it had to do with the fact that he was already committed to the Black Hawks game. So I think that's what it was. I think it was more to do with the fact that he was already committed that night to the Black Hawks game.
Yeah.
So he couldn't go anyway. So I think people just read way too much into things. And again, Impact are not going to know that he was already busy that night, are they? So so they sent him an offer. Nobody, he turned him down, but he turned him down because he had another gig. So I think people just need to chill out with all the crap. And let's just wait and see what happens. If they end up signing Punk, that'd be amazing. It would bring loads of eyes. If you include that in with the whole TNA coming back and the bigger venues and all that kind of stuff, he's going to sell tickets, right? So
I've
either way,
in the comments here, like, if Will Ospreay and CM Punk could be the first two big signings of 2024, then that's saying something for TNA. I fully agree. And then they've got huge names already, like Josh Alexander, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin. Everyone overlooks how big these guys, Mike Bailey. Everyone overlooks how big the names those guys are. And then we got Deonna Purrazzo, Jordynne Grace, Giselle Shaw. They're huge names across the wrestling scene. But
what's interesting? Have you noticed how much that the wrestling fans of Impact or TNA, is it, or whatever you want to call it now, absolutely love the Knockouts division. They love women's wrestling, which is amazing. Everyone else knocks women's wrestling except for Impact Wrestling and their fans because it's fantastic. Now, I'm not so sure that WWE are interested in CM Punk, but again, from some of the stuff I've read, if I was interested in bringing someone in for a surprise, I would tell everybody that I wasn't interested in them. Right?
Exactly.
So people need to chill, man. Just wait and see what happens. I'm sure, if CM Punk was to turn up at Hard to Kill in January, that would be amazing. And then, I don't know, Rebellion, all of a sudden the Billy Goat turns up. That would be awesome as well. But again, you just, money, mate. At the end of the day, it's down to this, right? And, it's whether Impact can afford them. I'm not saying it's whether, because here's the thing, right? And this is what people don't seem to get, right? Yes, Anthem is a big company. They've got money, right? They've got money. They could probably afford Punk. They could afford Will Ospreay 10 times over, I'm sure. Okay. But, at the end of the day, they are running a tight ship. They're building a brand. They're building a promotion, and they're doing it with budget restraints. So the bottom line is every year they're up in their budgets. Every year they're up in it. They're saying, right, we're going to give you a bit more money in production. We're going to give you a bit more money, for this, that, and the other, for talent. We're going to give you a bit more money, for pyro, for venues. We're going to do, do you know what I mean? For advertising, they're going to up the game. They're getting in some really good people. I mean, you think about Angelo and people like that are involved in this organization. There's some big people that are involved in Impact Wrestling right now that could do amazing stuff if their budgets were a little bit bigger. So you have to just bear in mind, just wait. It's growing. It's coming. All right. It's coming. So we just need to keep watching the show, keep enjoying what we see. And then when the big stuff comes, we can then shout about it and get all excited and have a fantastic time. And all the people that haven't been watching the show can miss out with the excitement, or they can jump on the wagon and start enjoying it. But we'll have to see. I see what Barry's saying is he will Anthem let Impact go big, go to a big network. That's one of my concerns about growth. I've said all along, it's not Impact needs to go to a bigger network, is they need to make Access a bigger network.
Yeah.
Because they've got control over it. It's the biggest viewed thing on that channel. Why are they going to let it go somewhere else? Right? Think about that logically. But what they do need to do is they need to get Access TV in more homes. If they could do that, then problem solved. That's what they should be focusing on, getting Access TV into more homes. If they could do that, onto a winner. Okay, so let's talk about... Oh, hang on. That's how people are, Bison. We want everything now. Then when they give it to us, we scream, "You're giving away too many spoilers!" Blah blah blah. I understand what you're saying. I understand. Okay, so let's talk about the UK tour. I've just had a quick glance at the matches for night 2 in Coventry, and I'm now gutted. I'm not going to that one, but there you go.
I'm gutted.
Right,
I can't get to any of it. It's really.
We'll get to that in a second. Right.
It's a gut punch for me.
The UK tour matches that have been revealed for Glasgow are as follows. Okay, you've got the Motor City Machine Guns versus Josh and EY. Interesting team. We get to see it a couple of times. Is this the reintroduction of Team Canada?
Oh, Canada.
Yeah, who knows? Grado versus Trey Miguel.
That's going to be good.
Hang on a second. We've got Rhino versus Eddie Edwards. We've got Giselle Shaw versus Jordynne Grace. We've got Subculture versus Deanna Moosen-Meyer. So when I say Subculture, I mean all three of them. So Danny Luna's in that match as well. That's in Glasgow. We still haven't seen that many matches.
That's going to be taped as well, and that's going to be released on November the 8th.
Yeah, that's the TV taping. That's right. That's November the 8th. So then which is interesting because this week we haven't got an Impact because it's a Bound for Glory special.
Yeah.
So the following week, hang on a minute, I'm confused. So
they've got 2 tapings for Bound for Glory, I think. Post Bound for Glory, so they'll have something, and then so in about 2 weeks' time we'll get the first of the
but the 8th.
Yeah, okay. The 8th
okay,
next week, isn't it?
Yeah,
so...
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes... Okay, so we then head over to Newcastle to Turning Point, which is the first show that I'm getting to go and see. So I'm excited about that, guys. I will be driving my 8-hour trip. I will be leaving my house at 8:30 in the morning on Friday, heading up to Newcastle to my hotel, and probably having a couple of hours kip in the afternoon to then head over to get all excited and shout TNA a lot when I'm in the arena. But we've got Will Ospreay versus Eddie Edwards. We've got the KO, the Knockouts title match, Trinity versus Gianna Perazzo. Again, I don't know. Anyway, Josh Alexander and EY versus Subculture. That is tagged. That's the Subculture tag team. Manjurus, obviously, and Flash Morgan. We've got Motor City Machine Guns versus Moosen-Myers again. So again, they seem to be pushing Moosen-Myers a little bit here. We've got Jordynne Grace, who's going to be facing Danny Luna. That should be a badass match. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be incredible. We've got Joe Hendry versus Simon Miller. And just mentioning Simon Miller, obviously he did a Bound for Glory Ups and Downs. And he gave it all ups. He was all over that, which was fantastic to see. But is Simon Miller going to get the one over Joe Hendry at Turning Point? I can't wait to find out. We've also got X Division 3-way. So we're going to get Swan versus Kaz versus Trey Miguel. So that should be good. And then to top it off, Very exciting stuff. We're going to get Giselle Shaw versus Alex Windsor. Now, this is not the first time I've seen this match. I've seen this match at Wrestle Carnival. But Giselle Shaw versus Alex Windsor is going to be an absolute cracker. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this one, but am I heard through the grapevine that Alex Windsor is Will Ospreay's other half? I don't know. If anyone in the chat can confirm that one.
We got asked that at the start of the show. You know, I think she is. So
yeah, I think she is. Yeah, I've seen some tweets and stuff or Facebook things. I have a funny feeling that she's Will Ospreay's other half, which is interesting because one great thing about Impact Wrestling is they love to bring in couples. So could this be a sign? Could we see Alex Windsor sign to Impact Wrestling?
I hope so.
And then next year, Will join her.
I really do
could
hope
be pretty
so.
cool. That could be very, very cool indeed. I'd love to see Alex sign. She'd be amazing knockout. Okay, and she was on our show, right? What, tail end of the beginning of last year, I guess?
Yeah.
Must have been, beginning of last year. And she's amazing. Anyway, right, UK tour matches in Coventry night 1. We've got Trinity versus Giselle Shaw. We've got Josh and EY again. I'm telling you, that's Team Canada, mate. Versus Motor City Machine Guns versus Subculture. So we've got a 6-man tag. We've got Moose versus Rhino. We've got Jordynne Grace and Emerson Jane. That is a very interesting.
That is going to be good. That's probably going to steal the show. They are both fantastic.
That is going to be amazing, mate. That is going to be amazing. Versus Deanna and Danny Luna. So those two are going to tag up together. That should be good. We've got Joe Hendry versus Eddie Edwards. Woo! That's going to be hard hitting. We've then got Grado, unfortunately, versus Myers. And to top this one off, right, top UK talent Leon Slater is going to be facing Frankie Kazarian. That, again, is going to be an absolute banger. I'm excited about that one. Okay, so I then quickly checked out what we're going to get on night 2. Now, you know, I'll get to the big one in a second. I'll start with this one first. So we got Eric Young, Rich Swann, and Trinity versus Subculture and Danny Luna. That should be that'll be good. We're going to get Chris Sabin versus Frankie Kazarian for the X Division Championship. That's on the Sunday, which at the moment is not sold out, so it's interesting. We've got Leon Slater again, and this, oh my God. And this is versus Trey Miguel.
Oh,
that, mate,
oh my
God,
going
to be immense.
The roof in that building is not big enough for Leon Slater and Trey Miguel. That's going to be insane.
It's going to be mental. So we're then going to get a street fight with Rhino versus Eddie Edwards. Joe Hendry and his best buddy Grado are going to go against Moose and Myers again. So again, we're seeing Moose and Myers in tag action again. We're going to get, this is unbelievable, we're going to get Deanna Purrazzo versus Jordynne Grace versus Giselle Shaw. Unbelievable. And then to top it off, right, on the Sunday, on the Sunday at the HMV Empire, we're going to get Alex Shelley versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World Championship.
Wow. Oh my God! So this will be Josh's last chance to get the world title. So this might write him off. Or we might see Josh Alexander versus Moose. Hard to kill. Oh my God, that's going to be amazing.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
I'm assuming that the 2 Sunday shows are going to be taped as well.
I guess so.
Because I otherwise they'll probably be on Fight for like the tour in Australia was. But either way,
I don't know. I don't know. I heard because I know that Gary was touting for some people for some experienced videographers or what we call it for the weekend. Because at the moment, I don't think it was planned to be taped, but I think they're going to tape it now. For what reason?
I hope so, because I really,
we'll
really
see.
don't want to miss it.
It could be just for some backstage stuff. I mean, we don't know, but you never know. But that is stacked. Critical Sting wants me to bite my tongue with regards to Grado. Yeah, I mean,
Come on, look at it this way. Grado
He's
is not Nick Aldis, so at least you get some entertainment with Grado. And hello, Courtney. Good to see you. Good to see you
Barry
again.
Monkey.
How you doing?
Barry Monkey's saying he might be the only one. He might be alone in this, but working somewhere with his wife wouldn't be his first choice, I guess. But there you go. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Now, Bonus Baby just brought it up. He thought that Ospreay was with B Priestley. Now, I thought she was as well. I thought he was as well. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe they're wrong about Alex. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know either. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not saying it's for sure. I'm just saying I saw a few people mentioning that. So it could be, but I did think he was with B Priestley as well. But
yeah,
I don't know.
And Barry Monkey's just got my other thing that some of these matches for the in Coventry might be digital media exclusive matches to carry on throughout the year, which should be great as long as I don't miss them. Because I'm really, really gutted that I can't make it to any of the UK shows. So if I can see them one way or another, then I'm happy. Because I'm really pissed that I can't make it to any of them.
It is terrible, mate. It's terrible. I will be sending you snippets and messages all night from the two shows I'm at.
If you get a chance to talk to any other talent, try and get a shout out from them, especially if you can get Diana Perazzo or Eddie Edwards.
That would be cool. We'll have to wait and see. But there's definitely some fantastic matches there. All the way through is going to be some incredible matches.
Yeah.
I'm gutted Rosemary's not over here. But I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's a shame. It is a shame. Yeah, Courtney's back. Great to see you, Courtney. Thanks for joining us as well. But Mir saying Courtney's back. Now, guys, listen, before we go any further into this Bang for Glory review, I do need you guys to take a moment now to hit that thumbs up button. It's really important you hit the thumbs up button. We need as many of them hits as possible. And of course, share the show to help us move up those rankings. And if you feel flush, then please feel free to throw us a super sticker. That will be very welcome as well. But either way, the thumbs up is a must. It needs to be done right this moment, and we need to get the show shared so people can join us. Now,
the ultimate finesser, your girl's favorite wrestler, Chris Bay.
Yeah, exactly. Don't know why that one suddenly arrived, but that's cool. That's cool. I'm good with it. And Bonus saying, I'm sure they're going to tape it all for documentation purposes and legal reasons and such. Yes, of course. I'm sure there's plenty of reasons why they're going to tape it all. Okay, so we've already talked about the countdown because we talked about the Hall of Fame. So we'll just crack straight in to, of course, the incredible pay-per-view that was Bang for Glory, which was pretty damn cool. Hang on a minute. Oh, Joseph's in the house. We haven't seen you for ages, man.
Hey, how you doing?
Great. Yeah, nice to see you, man. He wants me to save him a seat. It'd be great to sit with me. Okay, yeah, no worries. I appreciate that. I think Steve's coming as well on the Saturday, so there'll be the two of us there from the TNI-UK team. But yeah, you're more than welcome, buddy. You can come and sit with us. Not a problem at all. I am thinking about doing a meet before the show. So if you guys, if any of you guys, the UK guys, are there at Coventry, I don't think I'm going to do it for Newcastle. I think all the travelling is just going to be.
It is a bit of a distance from where you are to Newcastle. It's a bit of a pain in the ass.
Trust me, it's a drive. It's a drive. So I am planning on maybe throwing something out there where we can maybe meet up and have a pint or something before we go to the show. I think that'd be pretty awesome. And Simon, if you want to join us, that'd be great. So yeah, look at that. We're getting the TNI family in the house. Love it. Okay, so opening match: Chris Sabin versus Kenta.
Wow.
You know, it was. I mean, what a match to open the show. I only saw half of it because I was having a few issues with my fight. I couldn't get the show to open up. So I actually missed the first half of this. But my God, I wish I hadn't. The second half was incredible. So I'm going to let Joe give us a little rundown on this one. Go for it, Joe.
It was bloody incredible, guys. From start to finish, it was hard hitting. It was very, very fast paced. It was such an incredible match. You know, you almost forget that the Bullet Club is a mix of face and heels, because Kenta came in full blown heel mode, really in your face at Chris Sabin, and it started off like can you best each other, but it very, very quickly disintegrated into who can hurt each other the most. And they took it right to the wire. Chris Sabin was on fire throughout this match, as was Kenta. It was it was one of the best opening matches for any pay-per-view I've seen for a very long time. It was incredible.
Oh man,
you could just say,
I love this match.
It was certainly a really good match to open the show, and of course, Chris Sabin retains. You know, after the match, he did a really on social media. He did a really respectful, exclusive promo with regards to Kenta, Marufuji, and you know all of these guys, and you know, proclaiming obviously that he's now on their level. Now he's beating Kenta, that sort of stuff. It was really cool, a very respectful promo. I really liked it. We then. Sorry, let me just check what's being said there. Did you know that Hell, Michigan is a real place? No, I didn't know that, mate. No,
I didn't.
Hard for me to.
I just thought it was like reference, like the clothesline from hell being the clothesline from hell, and I didn't know Hell, Michigan was a real place. Wow.
No, I didn't know that either. No, but there you go. Joe is saying that hard for me to catch the show live these days, but still don't miss a show. Def up for meeting beforehand. All right, Joe, don't worry, mate. I'll let you know. I like the idea of wearing a Bill mask. Actually, I'm wondering whether we could get someone to wear a Bill mask. That might be quite interesting. I might get one done. I'm going to do one. I'm going to get one done.
At least get a sign. So you can have, like we had the Joe Doring face come up. Let's get a Springside Bill sign.
Bill is here in spirit. Bill is here in spirit. That's an interesting run. And Simon says he's arriving in Coventry on Friday. It's easier for him to travel. I know you use public transport, so I understand that totally, mate. So if I let you know where we're going to be for that beer or whatever, you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah. Okay. Kenta teasing the go to sleep. That was really good. I don't know if you saw that. That was that.
Oh yeah, and he gave them.
Yeah. That was brilliant.
Yeah. That was good. So we then move on to the Monsters Ball match, which PCO versus Steve Macklin versus Moose versus Rhino. Now, man, this was an incredible match, and included such things as tables, chairs, breeze blocks, or I think they call them something else. Not the what do they call breeze blocks? They call them something else, but anyway, breeze blocks, and of course there was tax involved, which you would expect. You know, and in the end, PCO, you know, wins after he gives the PCO sword to Moose, and but my God, cinder blocks. That's it. That's what they call them, cinder block. Thank you, Barry. So what a match, mate. What a match. I mean, there was at one point PCO, after landing on the cinder blocks with all the tacks.
They were stuck in the back of his head.
They were all stuck in the back of his head and like, oh my God, it was mental. I mean, the amount of punishment he took, he deserved to get the win.
Yeah, and Bully Ray came out, proved he wasn't soft, and he threw pushed Macklin off into that. That was excellent. He's like, who's soft now?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah,
so that's going to be Macklin and Bully Ray rounding up the year now. They're going to be beating the shit out of each other. So I think that's a great way to round up things between Bully Ray and Macklin for the rest. So, and Moose was incredible in this match too.
Yeah,
exactly. the only one he really didn't do much for me was Rhino, but when Rhino did something, it was bloody good. You know, he was so full of energy. He was Rhino's just like one of the greats in hardcore wrestling. So he had to be in a
He's a
piece.
beast. He is a beast. Regardless, he is a beast. Yeah, this was a crazy ass match. Crazy ass match. They just seemed to, yeah, it was just like craziness after craziness. I mean the I think the backdrop onto
Yeah.
the onto the steps was insane as well from PCO. Just unbelievable. He's just like a
Yeah,
walking, breathing punch bag, isn't he?
yeah, Mace threw him over his shoulders, and PCO made the ladder explode.
Yeah,
he's definitely not human. If you can hit a ladder from a backdrop and make it eventually blow out, so nobody else can use it.
literally it almost exploded it, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. But I love Barry Monkey's comment there. Nice to tell you what, Barry. I think you're the only person watching us on Twitch, but thank you, we appreciate it. He says he's sure PCO has got a portrait in his attic that's slowly getting more and more broken. Yeah, you never know. He might do, or he might just have a portrait, that never changes because he's immortal, because he is, not human. So there you go. Okay, so we then go backstage, and we've got Gia Miller interviewing Mickie James as she prepares to challenge Trinity for the Knockouts World Title. So that
Country!
that was great. The more Mickie James interviews, the more Mickie James in the ring, the better for me, as far as I'm concerned. But it was a very respectful interview. I enjoyed that. There was a lot of respect flying around for this pay-per-view, that's for sure. We then head back to the ring, and of course, it was a World Tag Title match. The Rascals, obviously the champions, versus the challengers, the former champions, of course, ABC, and that's Ace and Bay. Again, like just unbelievable. I think again, incredible tag match between what I would like to say is future of TNA wrestling. These guys are, all of these guys that were in the ring are the future of TNA wrestling. But by God, again, fantastic match. To and fro all the way through. Everyone was getting their shit in. ABC eventually hit their finisher, which is one of the best finishers in pro wrestling. After a miscommunication between Trey and Wentz with the spray can, which was interesting as well. And of course, we then get new World Tag Champs in ABC, which is actually what I was expecting. But I'm sure that there's some fun to come, as we know that Myron Reed is going to turn up the following day at the taping. So I'll be interested to see where that one goes. But yeah, what a match, Joe. What a match. Come on.
It was insane. I loved this match so much. I loved all these matches, but this one was, oh my God, it was so like you said, fast paced. You blinking, you miss the thing. I watched some parts of it. I round back and watched it. Get bits of it again. It was just so. I was like, I just missed something, and then something else happened elsewhere. It was so good. Ace Austin took a hell of that. He takes a hell of a beating in all these matches and comes back strong. And Chris Sabin was just so good in this. And it was just an amazing match. And the ABC to get the win, I'm glad. It's good to see. It's nice to see poetic justice finally done after they got screwed over so badly when Wentz came back. It was just like the feel good moment you wanted. Unless you're Matthew Raywald, he was pretty pissed.
Definitely. Can I just say a welcome to Terence?
Yeah.
Who's joined us in
welcome.
World. And also joined us as well to see. So welcome, gents. Appreciate the support. And my avatar, Gary, is legendary. You know it. Down. Hardcore. I got it. I've got it down to an absolute T. But there we have another great social media promo from ABC after the match as well. Because, baby, it's easy as 1, 2, sweet. Great match. Great Great match. Really loved it. And you know, I think this is not over, mate. This is not over. There's more to
Oh
come.
no,
There's
it's
more to come.
far from over.
Now,
And they've got
we
they've got a
then head
contractual
into
rematch.
what
I think we'll see that at Hard to Kill. Their contractual rematch at Hard to Kill.
Oh, you still there, Joe?
Yeah, I think I'm saying I think we're going to see the Rascals versus ABC get their contractual rematch at Hard to Kill.
Okay, they could do. They could. That would be a very good addition to the card as well. So we then go into what some people are already calling the match of the year. We got Will Ospreay versus Mike Bailey. Now, what an absolute banger! This match was fantastic, and I especially enjoyed. They were incredible. That jump off the turnbuckle with the flying fist and the the leg and everything. It looked fantastic. We then got obviously the styles clash. Fantastic. This match was hard hitting. Like, I believe that they were beating the shit out of each other, right? And that's what pro wrestling is about, right? Is the whole belief that these guys are truly beating the living crap out of each other. And this match is exactly what I call pro wrestling. It had high flying, it had high flying, high risk moves. It had grappling, right? It had, strong style involved in there as well. You know what I mean? And I believe that they were beating the crap out of each other. This match was freaking tastic. I absolutely loved it. But again, after the match, bruv picked up the win. Great match. What were your thoughts on this match?
This is match of the year for me, without a doubt. This is probably, I don't think any match is gonna top this one for the rest of the year. It was absolutely incredible. This is the first full match I've seen of Will Ospreay for a very long time, and my God, is he incredible! I really do hope he is signed to TNA when his contract is up at the end of, the start of next year, because it's not over. I didn't know that he'd faced Mike Bailey in Japan a couple of beforehand, so I thought this was the first time ever they were facing off one-on-one. So this is like the third time they're facing off.
Issues there with Joe. I hope he'll come back shortly, or whether it's my end. Don't think it's my end because I've got signals. I don't know what's going on, Joe. I don't know if it's my end or your end, mate, but you keep disappearing.
I think it's your end. Your it's freezing your end and then coming back and freezing and coming back. the picture quality is quite bad your end too.
Okay, I apologise for that.
Don't worry. Mike Bailey put on a I don't know what the hell you call that. It looked like a Tiger Driver, but it was a lot higher. But that driver Mike Bailey took, that was incredible. And Will Ospreay got the well-deserved win. It was just brilliant match of the year. And I think he's coming up to, he'll be back in a second. So yeah, just reading what Simon Plum's saying here. It was match of the year for me. Yeah, probably one of the best matches I've seen ever as well, on TV, and it's just so good. And Impact Wrestling is releasing this match fully for free on their YouTube their YouTube page as well. They've announced that earlier today that you can watch the full Mike Bailey versus Will Ospreay match on their YouTube channel later on this week, or I think it's even on tonight. So that's another gift from Impact Wrestling. I don't know if you've noticed, Bison, the Will Ospreay and Mike Bailey match is going to be available for free on the Impact Wrestling's YouTube channel, and as well, from start to finish, to just the full match.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That
Well,
that
what
was
they're
announced
from
about
what
half
I
an
was
hour.
reading as well is, well, I think what they're doing this Thursday, there's not an episode of Impact, I believe, this Thursday. I think what they're doing is they're doing a highlight show for Bound for Glory, but they're making sure that they show the Will and Bailey match
Yeah.
info on that show. So there's no new Impact Wrestling apparently this Thursday.
Oh,
So
wow.
so
Makes
that's to
sense,
make
though.
sure that everyone gets to see what a great pay-per-view that was. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that definitely. Right. We then head into the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Okay, we're going fun on this one. So now what I decided to do on this one is just basically read. It's so crazy and there's so many entrants and a lot going on. It's much easier just to basically run it all off and then talk about it afterwards. Okay, otherwise we're just going to get lost in the shuffle, as they say. You don't want to get lost in the shuffle. Okay, so Jake. Exactly. So Jake Something enters at number 1 and begins the match with Eddie Edwards at number 2. Kenny King enters at 3. Edwards slides under the bottom rope, which does not count as an elimination. There's a mini honor no more opinion as Edwards and King work together. We then get to Juice is a support. Sheldon Gene gets the but knocks him down. King capitalizes off the distraction with the spine buster to Juice. Johnny Swinger enters at 5. Now that's unexpected because obviously he's been fired. We then get the Juice, who eliminates Kenny King. And where Crazy Steve, a swinger with his Feast or Fire briefcase, which is weird. Don't know where he came from. Giselle Shaw enters at 6 and eliminates Swinger. Steve is about to assault Swinger with his fork when digital media champion Tommy Dreamer makes the save. Jody Threat then enters at 7. Now this match has got so many moving parts. It's crazy. You know, there's people out there that are not even in the match. You then got Jay Vidal and Savannah Evans obviously prevent Shaw from being eliminated. We get Jody Threat. We get Kayla King enters at 8. Edwards then eliminates the Juice. Sonny Kiss is a surprise entrant at 9. Kiss eliminates Shaw with a press slam over the top. Bully Ray then enters at 10. Kiss and Ray engage in a dance-off, which was a bit of fun. Yeah. Matt Cardona returns at number 11. Now, that was a surprise. Nobody expected that. Kiss shows Cardona what's up from the top rope, which was fun. What's up?
What's up?
Exactly. Jordynne Grace enters at 12. Eric Young enters at 13. Young spikes Cardona with a pile driver. Cardona eliminates Edwards. Joe Hendry enters at 14. Brian Myers enters at 15 and immediately spears Hendry through the elimination. Through the elimination, something like that. Myers reunites with Cardona, obviously the major players, but Kiss brings a fight to both of them. Myers and Cardona eliminate Kiss with a double backdrop. A double back body drop. Let's get it right. Heath enters at 16. Heath hits something. Young, Kylan King, Cardona with wake up calls. Myers eliminates Heath. Frankie Kazarian enters at 17. Myers takes out Kazarian with the roster cut clothesline. Rich Swann enters at 18. Jonathan Gresham enters at 19. It's getting exciting, isn't it? It's getting very exciting.
Yeah.
Uses his T-shirt to eliminate Kylan King. Dirty Dango then enters at number 20. Something immediately. Yeah. Jay Something immediately eliminates Dango. Like, oh, seen that so many times. Oleg Prodius, enters the ring and assaults the other competitors. Myers and Cardona, which actually, like, he looks proper real when he goes for it. He's proper battering people. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the match. Enters the ring and assaults the other competitors. Myers and Cardona eliminate Kazarian, Swann and Young. Something catches Gresham in midair and tosses him over the top for the elimination. Something then sends Myers into the void. which you know a lot about there, Joe. Myers goes low on something for the elimination. Cardona turns on Myers and eliminates him. Grace
That was
eliminates.
brilliant too.
That was good. That moment was good. What I have missed out on is there was a bit of a tussle between Gresham and his lovely wife, wasn't there, as well?
Yeah,
Anyway.
tell off but
She tells him off.
Yeah.
She tells him off. So Cardona turns on Myers and eliminates him. Grace eliminates Cardona as Ray eliminates Kyle and King. The final two are Jordynne Grace and Bully Ray. And at this point, I'm thinking, oh, God, no, please don't win it again, Bully Ray. The match must now end by obviously a pinball or submission. Grace hits multiple back elbows, followed by the Grace driver to win. I couldn't believe that Grace driver was insane.
That was
Jordynne
fantastic.
Grace at this point makes history as the first knockout to win the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Grace calls a shot for the Knockouts World Championship at Hard to Kill this January on pay-per-view. Wow. I'm running out of spit here, guys. What was your thoughts, Joe? Go.
It was a really, really fun match from start to finish. I loved every part of this match. Was just this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Wow. Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god. Who the fun? Then when Sonny Kiss comes out, I'm like, oh my god. It's like someone who could Impact Wrestling is also interested in signing as well. Is Sonny Kiss, so we could see him joining in 2024. Him or her?
Her.
Well, it was the right way to put it.
Definitely goes by she.
Okay, her. Oh, do you forgive me if I get that mixed up?
So yeah, Sonny Kiss is great. Sonny Kiss.
Yeah.
Is great.
So apparently she's sticking around for a few tapings in Chicago.
I don't want to get
And yeah, I know. And then there's interest in possibly signing in 2024 there, which would be another great addition because I can see her and Giselle Shaw having a massive rivalry, and her and Deanna Prazo would be good too.
Oh, mate, I totally agree. Agree.
But the whole thing with Sonny Kiss and Bully Ray, that was brilliant. And then Matt Cardona took so much beating for the first 5 minutes he was in. He got his balls busted. He got, I think Jordynne Grace knocked him out at one point, or Kyle and King knocked him out. He got beaten up. I thought Matt Cardona was going to come and get beaten up and thrown out, but the way it was going for him until Frankie Kazarian came in, and then he managed to finally catch a break. But the sequence between Jordynne Grace and Jonathan Gresham was brilliant too. I thought she would pick him up and throw him over the rope for after what he did. But it was such a great. Jordynne Grace getting the win. She set history by just getting to the last two, and then she set history again by winning the match. And that was absolutely brilliant. I thought Jonathan Gresham was going to win because he's got a match against Alex Shelley and for the world title. Or that Brian Myers was my wild card to win the match, or Jake something to go from start to finish.
Yeah, so that would have been awesome. I'd love to have seen Jake and Jordan, the last two.
Yeah, I would love to see it go. If Jordynne Grace could have hit the Grace driver or fall from Grace on Jake something, that would be something to see. It was amazing that she could lift that. How she lifted Bully Ray up, despite the beating she's taken in the match. To lift him up that easily and smash him on his head was brilliant. But I'd love to see it done to Jake something.
Oh, insane!
I'll be watching it with my shoulder. I'll be watching it.
Wow, I think it was a lot of fun. Either way, that was it was a lot of fun, that match. A lot of fun. I think that was the perfect match to actually follow Will and Mike Bailey. I thought it was a perfect match, really. I think it was a really good idea to do that, if you ask me. I was brilliant. Okay, so we then head over to the World Knockouts Championship match. So we got Trinity versus Mickie James. This match was a slow down match, I think, and it kind of. I'm not taking anything away from the match. I'm just saying it kind of slowed it down a little bit. Everything, because up until this point now, everything's been fast and crazy and nuts. But this match seemed to sort of kind of slow down a little bit from the previous two matches. But still a very fun match between two great knockouts. Trinity eventually taps Mickey out to retain the title at the end. We saw a true show of respect, and almost, for me, it was almost like a passing of the torch moment from Mickey to Trinity, which I thought was really cool. Highlight of the match has to be the incident.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. It was great. Absolutely great. I really enjoyed this match, and it's nice to see Trinity retaining. And actually, after that match as well, there was a really nice exclusive social media promo from Trinity, sort of kind of showing a sign of respect to Mickey as well, almost saying that I was better than her tonight. I think we might see another match down the line somewhere. You never know. What did you think on this one?
I agree. It took the pace down, but the pace in a way that set up the main event a lot better, because if everyone was so burnt out from this match as well, then God knows how they would have managed in the match that would follow. This was really good. We got great technical wrestling shown from both of them, and Trinity. They seeing as they've never faced off against each other, there was a bit of feeling out process throughout this match too. So if they would to go like full throttle at each other, it just wouldn't make sense. But it went really, really well. I enjoyed this match. Trinity looked fantastic in this match. She's really, really blown away any expectation I thought. I knew she would be good coming into Impact Wrestling, coming into a new company and rebuilding herself. But my God, has she shown that she is on top, one of the best in the world right now. She getting the win deservedly. I think we might get a rematch with her and Mickie James down the line before the end of the year.
Yeah,
if there's any tapings in December. But it also makes me think that Mickie James is signed on a lot longer than everyone thought she was.
Well, again, she's on the TNA poster.
Yeah.
What can I say? She's not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere.
It's undoubtedly, it definitely seems more concrete that Trinity's definitely staying with Impact Wrestling or TNA now, which is great. I really did not. I wanted her to find a place where she could say that this is where this is what I call home, and this is where I'm going to make myself shine or glow.
Exactly, make myself glow. Yeah, and
she's done that.
She has.
It was such a good, and the ending to the match was great. That had me welling up a bit. Knowing how Gianna Prazo knows exactly, not Gianna Prazo, sorry, Mickie James knows exactly what Trinity's been through. At WWE, and she got the shit treatment too when she was let go. So, and that didn't go down well with the majority of the women there.
No, exactly.
So, that was not just for the fans. That was show respect between the two of them personally, and that was just amazing.
It was amazing. Now, backstage, Gian Miller is interviewing Moose who reveals he will be calling his shot at the world title to whoever wins tonight at Hard to Kill on January the 13th on pay-per-view. So he's going to be the main event, baby. He's going to be the main event. So I'm seriously looking forward to that. We're going to get Moose in the main event for a world title shot at Hard to Kill. And why not? That sounds good. Okay, we then head over into the main event. We got the Impact World title. Now, I'm just going to go with this one. So, Alex Shelley versus Josh Alexander. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this one in a second. So, Alexander locked in the ankle lock, but Shelley scurries to the bottom rope. Shelley targets left arm of Alexander in the early going, but both men exchange strikes in the middle of the ring, with Alexander gaining the upper hand off a big boot out of the corner. The fight spills to the outside, where Shelley hits the thundering back body drop. Alexander charges at Shelley, but he ducks, and then Alexander crashing into the steel ring posts. That hurt. Minutes later, Alexander wraps Shelley's leg around the post and locks in a submission. Alexander locks in the ankle lock, but Shelley breaks it with an enziguri. I never get those. I never pronounce them properly. I do my best. Target at his left foot. I know what is in my head, but it doesn't always come out of the mouth. But there you go. Shelley goes to the border city stretch, but this time it's Alexander who's desperately gets his leg to the bottom rope. The pace quickens. See, this was my issue in the match. I thought it started off way too slow. But anyway, the pace quickens. Alexander hits a belly-to-belly suplex. Shelley comes back with a snap German suplex. Alexander counter sliced bread into another German suplex, this time into a bridge for the two. Alexander cranks Shelley's leg with a dragon screw. That. Every time I see that, I'm like, oh my God, that dude's knees popping out, man. But anyway, Shelley hits a modified shell shock into the barricade. Shelley successfully connects with sliced bread on the floor. Shelley soars with the top rope from frog splash for two. Shelley immediately transitions into the border city stretch, but Alexander counters it into the ankle lock. They go counter for counter before Shelley plants him with the shell shock. Shelley hits another shell shock to get the win. Now, okay, so as I sort of kind of hit, mentioned as we were going through it. Now, this match was good. This match was really, really good. Okay, there's no doubt about that. It was a typical Josh Alexander match. It was good, very technical, a good match. My issue was that I felt, and I know Josh Alexander matches generally start fairly slow and they sort of build and all that kind of stuff. However, I felt that it was slow, but went slow for way too long before it suddenly kicked into gear. And then I was like, no, this is better. You know what I mean? This is more like it. And then it was and then from that moment on, it become for me a much better match. I actually text Steve because Steve was watching at the same time, and I was like, man, I'm getting bored. You know, it started way too, way too slow. Like he needs to kick this shit into gear. You know what I mean? And it did kick into gear, and in the end, it was a fabulous match, really good match. And I'm actually pleased Alex Shelley won because I think he deserved that. You know, he's been a Trojan for the promotion, and I think he deserves that. I think he did. What do you think? What do you think?
I thought the pace of the match was fine. You know, it starts slow, but like you said, Josh Alexander matches do start slow. I didn't think it went too slow. I thought it was a decent length. You know, I was still buzzing from everything that had happened beforehand as well. So I was like just so hyped up after all that, and it was almost like that they were still trying to be professional and not let their feelings get in the way throughout the start of the match, and then it just slowly bubbled over, and then by the time we started seeing arms going into the ring posts and the figure four leg lock over the over the turnbuckle and things like that, you knew then that there were like dirty tactics were starting to come into play. And then it, like you said, it just exploded into right. Fuck it, we're not being professional anymore. Let's just fight until one of us can't go to the end. And it finished with a bang. And Alex Shelley definitely deserved the win. You know, he's one of the standard bearers for TNA, one of the standard bearers for Impact Wrestling. He's put so much talent into the spotlight. Not just by training, by putting them over as well as training people. And the show of respect at the end from Josh was so great to see too. It was another like let's put the bitterness aside now. Let's be professional moment. And it was just a great feel good moment. And then we got the biggest shock of the whole night, I think.
Well, let's say after the match, obviously, Alexander shakes hands. Tremendous show of respect. Alexander places the Impact World title around Shelley's waist. Shelley celebrates his monumental victory, which I think was absolutely fantastic. I'm happy that Alex won. I think it's great. I'm glad they did it, and I think Josh was probably happy to do it as well, which is cool. And can I just say, there's a few people who are talking about Paul Mathewson's, for instance, is talking about they did bring the full roster. No, I think because it was so close, also to Bound for Glory and the tapings, maybe some of the talent weren't available the following weekend due to other commitments.
Yeah.
So I think that there was probably that as well. But
Ace Austin's doing something. He was doing some stuff for in Ohio, I think, as well, and he's also planning something in November. So that was taking up more of his time. Chris Bay has just recently filmed another music video, so that was on his schedule. Rose, Melissa, Courtney Rush and Jessica were with Wrestling Revolver or across the country doing Comic Cons and stuff like that. So
there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on. But hey, why the God's name would you turn it off directly after a match is ended? You know there's gonna be some shit going down, especially considering the show was the match clearly ended early. So there must have been something coming. I was just sat there waiting. I'm like, something's going to happen now. And it did. We then get the big reveal of a promo, which was a complete surprise. And when it was revealed that Impact Wrestling was rebranding back to TNA at Hard to Kill in 2024, the place absolutely erupted. And then, of course, Scott in the ring announces, "We're back!" Throws down his microphone. And of course, BFG at that point goes off the air with chants of TNA, TNA, TNA ringing out from the arena. I thought it was amazing. I apologize, guys. My nose is running terribly. It's cold in the man cave.
It's October. It's finally starting to feel like winter.
It is definitely cold in the man cave. So I thought it was an amazing thing. We've already talked about TNA, but I think it was really cool, and it was a fantastic reveal. And I don't know. I think for me that was better than CM Punk turning up at the end.
Yeah, Scott D'Amore's. No, it was released like straight after the pay-per-view or something. Like Scott D'Amore's speech in that afterwards. They had to edit some of what cut some of what he said.
Well, he said he had to put some money in the swear box. That's for sure.
Yeah. But you can see the passion in Scott D'Amore and just how happy and how proud he is of everything he's and hats off to him and to Don Callis for getting the company back on the right track.
Exactly. But you know what? Right. Do you know what? And this is something I was saying. I think people were in the arena. I think, because they knew something, it was like something must be happening. Something must be happening. Because obviously they knew it was ending early. So they were like, something must be happening at the end. I'm sure they were waiting for someone like CM Punk to turn up or somebody else to turn up or something. And of course, then they got the promo package for TNA, and they must have thought, "Wow!" And the place just went mad because they were waiting.
The Impact Wrestling have got a post out on Twitter. If you were live at the event and you recorded your reaction to it, send it to us, and we'll try and get it on the reaction show this week.
Yeah.
And I've watched 50 videos. Oh my god,
that
goosebumps.
Place went mental. That place went absolutely insane.
Goosebumps.
I wish I was
every
there.
Time.
I wish I was there.
Oh god.
So anyway, that was Bound for Glory review, guys. We know that we got the main event Monday being MK Ultra versus Gianna and Tasha from BFG. It's free to view at the moment on YouTube and on Impact Plus. Obviously, there's no BTI. We've just got Thursday. So Thursday night, all we've got is the BFG highlight show, but it's also including the Will Ospreay and Mike Bailey in full match, and also the World Championship matchup between Josh Alexander and I think it also includes the MK Ultra match as well. So I think they've got that in full, Will Ospreay, Mike Bailey, and then the world title match in full on those shows, and everything else is sort of kind of highlighted. So pretty good show, guys. I think that's a clever plan as well. Let's just get many people as possible checking out Bound for Glory because it was pretty badass.
And then the week afterwards, you got Tommy Dreamer and Crazy Steve. So anyone still pissed off about Dreamer holding the title, I say don't worry. I think Crazy Steve's going to be taking that.
Well, we'll have to see, won't we? Hey, Zach, nice to see you, buddy. You just crept in there. Nice to see you. So we've had a good attendance today in the chat. So thank you guys, for taking part in this. But guys, listen, please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up. I know there's some extra stuff in there already. If you haven't signed up, go and check that out. All TNI shows are available to all of you listening on the Go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Also, if you want to show your support to TNI UK team, please feel free to give us a super sticker, or if not, head over to prowrestlingtees.com/Total Nonstop Impact for some great shirts, or head over to our exclusive Spreadshirt merch store. Links, of course, are down below in the description. Make sure you go and check that out. Where can we find you on social media, Joe?
You can follow me on Twitter at JKEmptySpace. Look for #empty space, #into the void, or if you fancy to tickle your taste spreads and you sense email, look for daily giggle on Facebook or Twitter. But approach with an open mind and you just might keep your sanity.
Okie dokie. And of course, if you want to go and check out Total Nonstop Impact, you can check that out at We Talk Impact on the Twitter sphere, on Facebook and on Instagram as well. Go and check it out. We Talk Impact is where you'll find us. And of course, if you want to find out a bit more about me, at Lord Bison 45 on the X. I'm sure you might be able to find me on Facebook somewhere. I'm pretty active on a lot of the different sites under my real name, but I'm not going to tell you what that is. You're just going to have to find out. Be sleuths. See if you can find out what the Bison's real name is. But anyway, please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. And don't forget the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of the great content coming out from TNI UK and the US teams each and every single week. With all that said, I've been Bison, and he has been the Joker. Earlier, we had Simply Steve, and this has been episode 156 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Okay, guys.
We're Bison! We are Impacted!